Welcome back. You know that I really love history, learning about new things. There is a place in Springfield that most all of us have heard about, but probably don't know a whole lot about, and that's Pitt Chapel. That was hard for me to say.
Pitt's Chapel. Yeah.
Got it. John, and I know this is John Sellers with the History Museum. And John, give me some history about Pitt's Chapel.
It's fascinating that this month, the month of October, Pitt's Chapel will celebrate their 173rd anniversary.
173 years old?
173 years old, yeah.
That's a long time for anything.
Yeah, it was founded by slaves. They went to their master.
Yeah.
They went to their master, a slave named Tom Moreland, went to his master and asked if they could have the freedom to have a church.
Okay.
And the master agreed to it, and the mayor signed off on it. So on the 31st of October, 1847, they started Wilson's Creek Chapel. And it was a brush arbor church just alongside the creek.
Right.
And then over time, it became a log building and then a brick building over on Jefferson Street.
Okay.
And continued to be an African-American church all this time. And then a man named Edgar Pitts was the reverend there for many, many years. And he passed away in 1889, and after his passing, they renamed the church from Wilson's Creek Chapel to Pitt's Chapel in his honor.
So like that name alone has been around for like 130 years or something.
Absolutely. And then in 1911, they built the building that they're in now. They're on Benton Street at Benton and Tampa.
See, that's amazing because the way your story started out, was it Townsend? Was that Townsend?
Townsend.
All right, he and the mayor saying yes.
Yeah.
That had to be really unusual at that time.
Very unusual, and way ahead of its time, because in that day and time, they weren't even allowed to teach them to read and write. They were not allowed to teach African Americans to read and write.
So it's amazing when you think about what the Ozarks is, what Springfield is. Religion played a huge a part of everyone's life in this area.
Right.
And Pitt's Chapel indicative of that.
Yeah.
Are there any churches that you're aware of around here who have that longevity?
Not that I know of. Really not.
See,
yeah.
Once in a while you can get a not that I know of out of John. But that says a lot for, of course, the church itself, the dedication itself. And you know, thank goodness that someone said, do it at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is one of the, Pitt's Chapel is one of actually the cornerstones of Springfield.
Right, right.
All right.
No question.
So
there's another one.
there it is. It's Chapel. Pitt's Chapel. I didn't know all of that, and that's one of the great reasons to come to this museum. It's easy to find. It's right on the square, and as you said before, there's this big sign. You can't miss it. And John, tell folks, the hours that
we're open Wednesday through Saturday from 10 to 5, and then we're open on Sunday from 1 to 5.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
All right,
absolutely.
pretty simple.
Come see us.
Check it out on their website, Facebook. They're all over the place. But the best place is right here on the square in Springfield. That's where you come.